Chapter 9 The Diamond and the Rough. October 13th, 2007, 9:14 a.m. The drab morning sky, low-lying and swirled in gray, showered the window panes with a steady pitter-patter. Nevertheless, Sue's attentiveness was focused well away from the weather's calling drear. Ever since arriving in the early hours of the day, she had been working a torrid pace, scraping and tearing. As a result, the den's floor was covered with long, overlapping strips of wallpaper. The radio on the mantel kept the atmosphere light and lively with a seemingly endless lineup of oldies. The disposal truck had come and gone, leaving a massive blue waste bin alongside the house for the upcoming deluge. Already, a load of plaster, laths, and 2x4s heaped its bottom. A welcome discovery was that the den's horsehair plaster was in remarkably decent shape, despite the extent of the third floor's water damage. Thus far, 2 of the walls had been stripped entirely, and the third was well on its way. Bing bong! Suddenly echoed throughout the house, causing Sue to fumble her scraper to the floor.
Well, the doorbell certainly works,
She huffed with a relieved smile. She walked to the rear entrance and opened it to view her best friend standing on the porch with several scrapers and a bakery box cradled in her arms.
Good morning, Susie Q. Hello there. Just love the outfit.
She said, referring to Doreen's old pair of green hospital scrubs and sweatshirt.
It's the newest rage. I call it Nouveau medical workout wear. Isn't it to die for?
It's to die for, all right. Doreen dangled the goodies box in Sue's face.
I bet you're wondering what I've got here. Me? Nah. Well, it just so happens that I stopped and got you some breakfast. What could it possibly be?
Sue asked playfully, knowing exactly what she would find. With a pull on the tied string, the cover of the cardboard box flipped open to reveal a lone chocolate eclair.
What a breakfast. Not something I'd let the kids eat, but I thought you could go for a sugar high to get you going. This should do the trick.
Sue responded, smirking wryly.
How come there are 2 frosting marks under the lid?
Doreen shrugged.
Maybe it shifted during the ride or something? And the chocolate you still have on your chin would be from...
Her friend licked the evidence clean while giggling her way through the door.
Let me show you around,
Sue said, and proceeded to lead Doreen on a full scale top to bottom of the house, all the while giving her the step-by-step plan for each room. This was Doreen's time to absorb, to pick her best friend's brain for its wonderful interior decorating ideas, and the ideas were plenty. After completing a sweep of the cellar, they wrapped up the tour and made their way to the den on the second level.
It's fantastic,
Doreen exclaimed.
Can you see where I'm going with it? Oh, Sue, when you finish this place, you're going to have to charge admission. Only you would be so lucky to get your hands on something this great. I was definitely in the right place at the right time. That's all there is to it. I don't know about that. You always seem to luck out in whatever you do. Yeah? What about that disaster of a marriage I used to have? As I said, you always seem to luck out in whatever you do.
Doreen enjoyed an extra hearty fit of chuckles while scooping the sponge out of the bucket. As she started wetting a section of wallpaper, she asked,
Have you gotten any big strips yet? Tons of them. They're all over the place. Nice.
She dropped the sponge back into the bucket and started exploring for loose edges. Within seconds, a wide sheet was fluttering to the floor. They dove into the work like busy bees, removing the remainder of the faded paper and chatting about anything and everything. As the morning was coming to a close, they were drawn to the window by a report of backfires from the driveway. Doreen looked out at the run-down Chevy Nova that was parked in the circular drive and joked,
Oh, it's the supermodels.
Sue chuckled while watching Julia and her friend Alexis retrieve something from the rear seat. Both girls were dressed in their cheerleading uniforms, white sweaters with a big blue F on the chests, pleated blue skirts, white socks, and blue and white saddle shoes. The muddy effects of jumping and kicking along a waterlogged sideline were splattered up their attractive legs.
What are they up to now?
Her question was answered in a matter of moments when Julia and Alexis came stomping up the back way into the den with a basket and blanket in their hands.
Hello, ladies.
Sue said with a hug to both.
What's all this? We brought you guys a little picnic lunch. You did? How thoughtful. There's just one thing. You'll probably have to eat it in here because it's soaked outside.
Doreen peeked under the basket's flip-up lid.
Thank you, girls. You didn't have to do this. Our pleasure.
Sue placed her scraper on the stepladder.
So, welcome to your soon-to-be new home, Monkey. What do you think? It might help if I look around first. By all means. Where should we go? Wherever you want. Only be really careful in the attic area. Why? You'll see. Just try to keep an open mind. That's where you said my room's going to be, right? Right.
Julia took Alexis by the hand with a loud,
Let's go!
They ran off to explore the gamut of the house's rooms, closets, and hallways. Nearly 20 minutes passed before they finally returned to the paper-filled den.
How did you do?
Sue asked, reading the obvious disappointment on her daughter's face.
What in the world were you thinking?
With what?
With buying this place. The floor's all missing upstairs. Not to mention most of the roof isn't even there. Please, Monkey. Everything will be just perfect when it's done. I promise. You sure? Julia, it seems like it's going to cost a fortune.
Strain tinged Sue's eyes.
I've already got it all figured out. Don't you worry. Well, I hope I won't have to keep an umbrella under my bed in case of rain.
Sue somehow held her calm, despite the swirl of emotions that were pressed hard against her defenses.
Julia, please don't get flip with me. I'm just telling you the truth, and I'm telling you, it will be amazing when it's finished.
Sue's assurances seemed to hit home as Julia's tongue suddenly dulled.
Can I have the big room at the front of the house? I don't see why not. I'm sure Ryan won't care either way, since he's not going to be around very much from now on. Thanks, Mom. I think that room can be pretty cool. Cool won't tell the half of it. If you say so.
For once, Sue knew she was right and would do everything in her power to prove it.
What about the rest of the house? Did it fare any better than upstairs? Yeah, it's great. You're not just saying that? No, really.
Julia reassured her mom with a stroke of her hair before glancing to Alexis.
We should get going. They've probably been there for a while already. Where's there?
Sue asked.
McDonald's. Everyone's supposed to meet at the drive-thru after the game.
Doreen gestured toward the picnic basket.
Aren't you going to stay and eat with us? No, we're not that hungry. Speak for yourself,
Alexis said.
I'll snag one of those tuna sandwiches if you don't mind.
Doreen reached in and tossed her a plastic-wrapped triangle.
Julia, you sure? Yeah, I'll get something later on.
Sue came over to give each girl a hug.
It was really thoughtful to bring this by. Thank you both. Not a problem,
Julia said, trying to sound blasé in front of her friend.
Love you, Mom. I love you too. Please be careful. We will.
In a blur of blue and white, the girls sprinted out to the car, and with another round of backfires, they were gone.